All right. So what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to share with you guys how to get out of any unhealthy environment, guys. If you find yourself in an unhealthy environment and you don't want to be there, in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get the hell out of there. Okay. So you have to understand something. The brain doesn't care about no complexion, how tall you are, gender, how you look, nothing like that. The brain only care about processing information, guys. Depattern and repattern, restructuring and destructuring, you could say. Okay, so it's very important to understand the cognitive pattern: thought, emotion, and behavior. Thought is the way we think, and emotion is the way we feel. So our emotion can control how we feel, which could literally push us towards certain behavior. So by understanding the pattern, you can literally use your behavior to chisel the way you think, to restructure the way you think, to depattern and repattern the way you think. Because when you really think about it, the brain is plastic, right? It's what they call neuroplasticity. You can literally change the physical brain. You can literally change the way you perceive the world. Amazing, right? And if you're able to change the way you think, you'll be able to manage the way you feel. And if you're able to manage the way you feel, you'll be able to have a healthy behavior. And I can assure you, your behavior alone will take you out of that environment. You're not going to feel comfortable anymore. The brain not going to feel comfortable anymore. And it's the reason you have to focus on depatterning the old you and repatterning the new you, the way you would like to see yourself. It's what's called neural network, neuroplasticity. It's like a network of information for you to have some sort of like concept of the way you perceive the world. All right. So you have to keep something in mind again, guys. Repetition is key. If you're going to use a habit to chisel the way you think, you're going to have to repeat the same healthy habit over and over for it to chisel, for it to structure the way you think. But of course, it's not going to be that easy, because at the end of the day, the brain going to try to manipulate our behavior, because the brain afraid of the unknown. If it doesn't know something, it's not going to want to go towards it. So it's going to send you all kinds of different information, all kind of little voice going to be inside of your head trying to tell you, oh, don't do it. Who do you think you are? You better not go there. I don't think it's safe. You're going to fail. You're going to hear all kinds of negative thoughts for you to stay in your comfortable zone, for you to stay in your lane, you can say. So it's where you have to build courage to say, you know what, man? The environment that I'm in is not healthy. It's causing me stress every day. I'm not happy. I'm not growing. I'm not learning anything new. So I have to build that courage to get out of there, regardless how others perceive me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get the hell out of there. It's the courage you have to build. And once you manage to build that courage, I can assure you, your brain will take care of the job. Your brain will do the job for you. It will become automatic. You get what I'm saying? And once it becomes automatic, then things will flow a lot easier. You have to keep in mind, guys, your brain, fear of changes, your brain wired to fear changes. So whenever there's a change about to happen, whenever you're about to face the unknown or you're about to do something new, it's the brain job to protect you, to try to keep yourself away from it before you take that risk. Because the brain really want to stay alive. It's the survival mode. It's the survival mechanism. It wants to stay alive. So anything new you about to do, as long the wiring of the brain or the connection not there, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to stop you like, yo, you need to stop for a little bit, man. Where are you going? What are you trying to do? Now you think you're better than others. Now you're thinking of doing something different. Something will generate some sort of anxiety emotion inside of your system to keep you stuck in that environment. Is the reason most people cannot leave the environment that they're in, because they become attached to it. They become stuck. The little voice inside of their head telling them to stay in that comfortable zone because it's safe. It's what the subconscious know. You understand? So you can say habits are very, very strong, guys, extremely strong. Once you develop a habit, whether it's good or bad, you become attached to it. It becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your character, your personality, part of your wiring. It's the reason it's extremely difficult to break a habit. So don't worry, guys. I have step-by-step guide to help you break bad habits for you to move out of an unhealthy environment. Okay? So step 1, notice what's wrong. If you're in an environment and it's unhealthy, you constantly experiencing anxiety, you constantly not growing, or you constantly doing the same thing that's not helping you grow, you have to pull back. You have to pull back to analyze the situation. By pulling back, I'm referring to that quick second recognition before you make a decision, because most of us, we make impulsive decision. There's a big difference. When you make impulsive decision, you didn't process the information carefully. You didn't use that, like, let's say 5 seconds, that little pause for you to process the information before you make a decision. Some people just make the decision right on the spot. It's what you call impulsive, and it's what you don't want to do. So by pulling back a little bit, you get to see what's wrong. You get to analyze what's wrong. You get to see, okay, shit, hold up, man. I'm not happy in that environment. So if I'm not happy, the environment causing me stress, I should get out of there because it's not for me. You see the difference? Okay, so once you manage to notice what's wrong, you get to see what's wrong with the environment. You have to know what you want. It's where you have to know exactly where you want to be. It's where you got to have like a vision. You have to see into the future to see yourself, picture yourself, the mental picture. You got to have it. Although, let's say it's far in the distance, but at least you get to see it. And you can work towards grabbing it. So it's what knowing what you want is. So by knowing what you want, guys, you can make a good plan. If you don't know what you want, you're not going to be able to plan, right? I kid you not. You're not going to be able to plan properly. So by knowing what you want, you get the plan successfully. Very important, guys. Okay? And do not forget to set small boundaries. If you always around people always complaining about life, how life is unfair, all kinds of like negative thought process, you need to keep your distance. No choice. You have to keep your distance because it's going to influence the way you think. It's going to influence your goal. It's going to influence the structuring you're trying to achieve. It's going to influence the concept you're trying to put together. So it's the reason, again, you have to set that boundary. If someone always complaining, ignore the complaint. Do not let the complaint register in your mind because it's going to become a part of you and it's going to become extremely difficult to get out of the environment you're trying to run away from. And again, people not going to understand you. It's what you have to keep in mind. People not going to understand you. The reason they're not going to be able to understand you because your thought process, the structuring of the brain already rewired, and it's not wired the same as theirs. And if it's not wired the same, there's going to be miscommunication and misunderstanding. The reason people are able to understand each other is because the brain wired the same exact way. It's the reason when you have culture, you get people thinking the same, feeling the same kind of like experience or something like that. Culture put people together by wiring the brains alike. That's it. It's nothing crazy, guys. Once you inside of environment, you basically in a culture, you can say. You have to understand what culture actually is. Once you in that culture, what's going to happen when you see that you experience anxiety, you're becoming depressed, you're not happy, you don't have peace of mind, and you're trying to find ways to remove yourself out of there, what's going to happen? People who believe in that environment, people who are not seeking to change or to remove themselves out of that environment, they going to view you as extremely, extremely weird because your behavior not going to make sense in their mind. It's not what they're used to. What do you expect? So it's where they're going to try to criticize you. They're going to shame you. They're going to say you acting a little bit different or you think you're better than others. It's where they're going to tell you all kinds of negative words for you to feel bad, for you to experience anxiety, for you to experience pain, for you to experience guilt, and to go back to perform the same exact way, the same old way. It's where you're going to find self-criticism. It's where the brain going to criticize itself. But again, if you do find the courage to say that, you know what, it's not going to happen. I'm not happy. I'm not comfortable in that environment. I need to remove myself. Once you build that courage, regardless what people say about you, regardless how they think about you, you're going to make the step to move forward. But you have to expect the spotlight to be on you. You have to expect others in your environment to wonder, because if anything new, the brain gonna pay attention to it, trying to process it like, okay, man, this is an unfamiliar behavior. Like, for example, I'm wearing a hoodie. Like, you probably processing it, thinking like, yo, it's a weird behavior. It's unfamiliar. Let me pay a little bit more attention. Your brain forcing you to pay attention to the unknown, to what the thing is. Like, what are you wearing? What are you doing? So it's the reason I'm wearing the hoodie the way I am right now, because your brain holding you to process that unusual behavior. If it was something you used to, then it would have been like, okay, it's nothing. He's weird like that, and you would have ignored it. But the fact that the unusual behavior hold on to your attention, for you to analyze it carefully, for you to process the information properly, to save it, to save the pattern, to understand it later on. Okay? So it's what you really have to keep in mind. Okay, guys? What else do I have for you guys? My notes. You need the notes, man, or else. Okay, you have to replace bad habits with good habits. Very important. You know, by becoming self-aware, you get to see your behavior. So if a bad habit not helping you move towards your vision, towards your future self, you have to look at the bad habit and replace it with good ones. It's basically taking a de-patterning de-patterning an old habit, unwanted habit, and repattern it with new ones. Neuroplasticity, guys, very important. So if you're able to de-pattern and repattern bad habits, you'll be good. You'll be good. always get rid of bad habits and replace those bad habits with healthy habits, healthy ones. All right, guys? And when you manage to remove those bad habits, now you get to reinforce these new habits, like the healthy habits. You get what I'm saying? So once you reinforce them, take big step. Take another one. It's probably going to be more difficult, but so what? Take it anyway, because at the end of the day, you growing. You developing your mind. And once in a while, reflect on your progress. You have to reflect on your progress, guys, to see your strength, to see your capability, to say to yourself, like, damn, man, I can't believe it. I'm actually becoming self-aware. I'm actually learning. I'm actually becoming a better version of myself. By realizing it, you basically reinforce your pattern. You basically reinforce the concept. You basically reinforce the way you think for you to do the same behavior over and over again. Knowing that fire together, wire together. And I kid you not, guys, your brain will automatically start remove itself out of that unhealthy environment, out of that unwanted environment. It's what it is. It's what it is, guys. Your brain gonna automatically take care of itself. You just got to give it the proper tool, the proper information, and you have to apply these healthy action in order for the brain to take itself out of that unhealthy environment. And that's how you do it. I know it sounds a little bit strange. It sounds a little bit weird probably, but that's how you do it. That's how you got to do it. Okay? So guys, it's the reason. What do we do here? We learn, we push, and we grow to become the best version of ourselves. Okay? Once we become self-aware, we become the best version of ourselves, the brain will take care of itself. All right, guys? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for more great content. If you have anything to say, let it out in the comment section. See you next time. Ciao.